you're on mute on that board.
Hello, class of 2020. Let me start by saying I'm speaking to the best HBCU in the United States of America, Dell State University. Look, you're always going to be number one in my book. You brought me to the dance. And Tony, Dr. Allen, thank you for inviting me to participate in today's celebration. I last spoke at the ceremony of graduation in 2016. I know these are difficult times for all of us, and for any of you who might have lost loved ones to this pandemic, or have family members working in essential jobs, putting themselves at risk, know that I'm thinking about you. But here's what else I know. We're going to get through this. We're going to need the passion and ingenuity and the skill that all of you have to offer to rebuild and transform this country. I'm looking forward to all of you becoming leaders, educators, healthcare professionals, entrepreneurs, researchers, artists. Here in Delaware, many of you will be responsible for developing new technologies and new ways of engagement as a result of the education, support, and guidance you've received over the last 4 years. Some of you will redefine what it means to be a global citizen and lead the way in uniting people regardless of age, gender, race, or zip code. We have a real opportunity to come out of this crisis stronger than we've ever been. And this class of 2020, you're going to play a big part in that. So congratulations again. I can't wait to see what you all accomplish. We need you. And congratulations to your parents, your grandparents, your benefactors. You've made
Good morning, everybody. It's Tony. I am very, very pleased to be with all of you here again today. We are at a very, very important time in our moments, our nation's history, and certainly our university's history. And what is important to me today is what we've accomplished together already. I want to remind you of just how far we've come in about 9 weeks. Before, in the middle of March, our world changed. We were doing things differently. We were interacting with each other differently. Since that time, the university has stepped up. And by the university, I mean all of you, whether you are a student, a staff member, a faculty member, somebody who cares deeply about the university. You've stepped up. And that's been important. It's been important because we have needed to be connected. I won't talk to you about all the things that you've seen before, all the things you've heard before, all the things you've gone through. But what I do know is that it's important for all of us to remain connected to each other in a way that we have never been connected before. That was never more important, never more critical than when we celebrated 700 of our seniors, the largest graduating class in Delaware State's 129-year history. Probably even more important than that was how we did it. There were many, many colleges and universities, many colleges and universities that could have chosen a way to celebrate their students that was not particularly effective, did not take into account what they were really going through or how they were really going through it. But I am proud that this university took the time, the initiative, to say that we are going to put our level best into celebrating our students who've done their level best to walk across that virtual stage. So I am pleased with our commencement ceremonies that I believe was the best commencement ceremony in the country this year. We reached 350,000 folks, many cultural influencers, and you saw just one, was there just to say how much they cared. Parents, students alike. And the way we did that suggested that we can do anything, particularly when it's hard. So I want to thank you for that opportunity, because I think it is a moment in time that really reflects all the energy, effort, emotion, highs and lows that we have been through during this COVID crisis. So welcome today. I have a couple of things I want to say at the outset, and then we're going to turn it over to a few of my colleagues. We have gotten past the semester. We are headed toward the summer. As you know, that will be fully online fully online instruction. Our team is now thinking through the fall scenario. And what's important for you to know is that we will be committed to our goals. Our number one goal is to keep this university, staff, faculty, students safe. Our second goal is to maintain the academic continuity for all of us, whether you are a researcher or a student. It's particularly important that we maintain an academic continuity throughout. And finally, it's important that we are seen as community members in the realest way, extending ourselves to the broader community so that we can help and serve as we are supposed to do. That is about maintaining our central operations and doing it in the very, very best way. So as we think about that, I want you to think about a few things. Remember, it's important that we stay together in this process. We cannot think about this as anything other than a road less traveled, one we've never been on before, but one that will change how we do business forevermore. And that change will be good. It may be tough, but it will be good. Second, believe that we are going to come out of this on the other side a better university, a more committed university, and one that I believe will be deeply effective. And three, and this is particularly for the students, don't give up. It's very important that you do not give up. This is a particular moment in time, and you have been given a significant obstacle, but you've already proven you can do it. Those things will all together make us strong. I'm pleased today to have Dr. Sandra DeLauder with me. Dr. DeLauder and I have worked together now since I've been at Delaware State. And as you all know, we went through a national search process to find our new Chief Academic Officer and Provost. That particular committee was led by Dr. Clytrice Watson and Dr. Debbie Harrington. But it was made up of faculty, staff, and even a student who looked across this country to make sure that we found the best candidate for this important institution of ours. You all know that a chief academic officer has to have grand vision for the academic enterprise. They have to be no nonsense and make tough decisions about how we educate our students. And they have to be engaging and really think about the future of the university. I was pleased to work right alongside of the person that I selected for the last 3 years. What I know is she's no nonsense. But what you may not know is she deeply believes in the students and the faculty here at this university. Case in point, the last 6 weeks, I have seen her lead us through an enormous, enormous transition. And I've seen her do that with care and concern for all involved. Has she pushed? She's supposed to push. Have we had to think outside of the box? She thinks outside of the box. Are we planning for the future because of her leadership in the academic enterprise? I absolutely know so. So university community, I am pleased, deeply pleased, to have a person of deep acumen and enormous ability chosen as the 6th provost in the 129-year history of Delaware State University, Dr. Sandra DeLauder. Dr. DeLauder, I just want to say, you know how I feel about you. I know what you mean to this university, and most importantly, I know what the university means to you. And it is an aside, but it is a grand aside to say she is also the first woman to ever serve in this role at Delaware State University. A moment who I believe time has come. So with that, I want to introduce to no one, but present the 6th Provost of Delaware State University, Dr. Sandra DeLauder. Dr. DeLauder.
Good morning, Mr. President. Thank you.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Delaware State University community. I am indeed humbled and honored to serve as the 6th Provost and Chief Academic Officer and the first woman selected to serve in this capacity. I've been asked to give you a few words around my vision for the university. It will be posted in its entirety on the website later today. I would note, as I noted in my interview, that my vision for Delaware State University is that every student that enrolls here receives a first class 360 experience. That's both inside and outside of the classroom. And in order to achieve that, there's several areas that I would just want to highlight, not in detail, but just highlight. We want to build on our existing strengths, fostering an environment that supports innovation and creativity in the classroom, in research, service, and outreach. So I've noted on several occasions how proud I am of the faculty, chairs, and deans that were able to move the 1,400 classes online in 5 days. And in that same spirit, we want to harness that innovation to move the university forward. Okay. We don't want to lead with mantras on high. We want the faculty really to drive this space in the classroom. And so we want to focus on being student-centered in all of our decision making. And that is a transformational concept. If you look through the lens of the student and their ability to enroll, be retained, matriculate, graduate, and then, of course, achieve career placement. Those are the student success metrics that have governed us through Pride 2020. And in some semblance, they will also guide us into the future. I wanted to also note that academic affairs, in order to achieve this vision, will work in concert with the other divisions on campus, primarily student affairs, but also we need IT in order to move our technology platforms for our students. And of course, our operations have to be intact in order to achieve sustainability on the campus, and again, for our students. I want to also thank all of the faculty that have engaged in the research enterprise, especially during this pandemic. We've been able to garner more than $5 million in competitive grants submissions during that time. And again, the faculty have been active during this time in continuing to write grant submissions. So again, kudos to all of those that have continued to work. Our research, along with our newly established outreach-based centers, will be key in greater institutional impact and generation of more revenue in the time to come. But in addition, we have to be able to make the hard choices to sustain our future. And as most of you know, I do not have a problem making those hard choices. But it means that our overarching objective is to increase the resources available to be a game changer in the environment here. We have to keep operational costs low and always seek new revenue streams. This cannot be done by one person. It will take all of us. And I look forward to working with the university community in sustaining the great legacy that has been provided for all of us here at Delaware State University. Thank you.
Madam Provost, thank you. And thank you for accepting the opportunity and the challenge. I have one question for you. What is your expectation of the faculty that you lead, and what can they expect from you?
My expectation of the faculty is that they continue to engage in the latest pedagogies that will engage our students and assist them in learning both inside the classroom and co-curricular and experiential learning activities. To stay abreast of the latest and to engage in those professional development opportunities that we've been providing at the institution Dr. Alexa Silva has been instrumental, along with Dr. Linda Murray Jackson and Amber Ward, in managing our Center for Teaching and Learning, and with our Howard Hughes Medical Institute grant and ACU. So we've had 3 cohorts of faculty that have gone through training. Dr. Silva is working on a training institute for this summer as well, to assist our faculty in transitioning to online, continuing to transition those latest pedagogies to engage our students online. What I hope that the faculty would expect from me is that I'm always open to engage and listen, and to provide them support as we all move this institution forward, focusing again on our students.
And how does it feel to be the first woman in this role in Delaware State University's history?
I was the first woman tenured in my department back in North Carolina Central. I don't know, it's been 15 years now, I think. It's, you know, it's a great feeling, but it's also a humbling feeling. So much to do. You know, it's large shoes to fill, but with the support of the faculty, staff and administrators, and the university at large, I think that together we will achieve, you know, this next phase in the university's development.
Well, thank you, Madam Provost. I'm looking forward to our continued work together and certainly your leadership.
Thank you, sir.
All right, everybody, we're going to turn now to what I know many students have been waiting on. We just last week got approval from the governor of the state of Delaware, in concert with the Attorney General here in the state, to approve our move out plan. So Dr. Downing is here to give you the details of that plan and the related timeline. Dr. Downing.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, congratulations, Dr. DeLauder. Well deserved. Can't wait to see the great things that you're going to do. And I'm excited to work with you to make it all work. So again, congratulations. So it's time to get you moved out. So again, I want to thank you all for your patience and endurance during this whole time. We know it hasn't been easy. Again, you've been great hornets working with us as we work to get to this point, and I'm happy to report that we're at that point to start this process. So as I communicated previously, all of our decisions on the process to get you moved out safely have been from a public health perspective. I realize this will not be our normal move out process, so it will be important for you to follow all the guidelines that we have laid out for you. We're going to begin, as I said last week, we're going to do this in 3 phases. So our first phase is to get our graduating seniors. Kudos to you all. Saturday was great. Glad that you've made this jumped this big hurdle and made this accomplishment. So congratulations. We want to help you continue on your journey by getting you moved out of your current residence hall. And then we'll move to our in-state students. And then finally, we'll go with our out-of-state students. But our first 2 phases should take us around 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, depending on how quickly we can move through it based on the guidelines that we have implemented. You will receive a personalized email. It will be addressed to you only. It will give you the date and time that you are scheduled to move out. We really ask you to adhere to that specific date and time. And if for some reason you can't move out on that date, please contact your RD. That information, their contact number and email will be in the email that is provided to you. But again, we're really asking you all to adhere to those dates and times, because our social distancing, the things that we're putting in place, is going to be critical that we maintain a certain amount of individuals in the building, certain amount of individuals in your room. So again, if for some reason you cannot adhere to that time and date, please reach out to your RD to make arrangements to fall into one of our move-out dates. Within the email, what's going to be critically important, within the email, there will be a link that you and your guests must fill out 24 hours prior to you arriving to campus. This is our health screening form. Once you fill out that form, you will be notified electronically whether you're approved to come to campus. So if you do not fill out that form, it's going to be very difficult for us to allow you access to campus, although we've given you a date and time. So once you look at that link, please have yourself and the person who is helping you to move out, you both must complete that form. It is critical and it's important to allow you to have access to campus. In addition, once the screening form has been approved, once you do come to campus on your scheduled date and time, we will have a list of those individuals who have been approved. You will need to show your email that says what time and date and building that you're moving from. Also, both of you must bring your photo ID. Some of you may have left your DSU ID in your room, but it will be critical to have a photo ID. So the actual move out process is, as I said before, is definitely going to be different. Again, let me back up a little bit. Once you come to campus, make sure you bring a face mask. Put it in the car now, put it in the bin. Make sure you bring that, because based on our governor's order, once you're in Delaware, it is critical that you must wear a face mask. So as I stated before, the move out process will be definitely different from our normal move out process. So just a couple of things I want you to start working on is strategizing how you're going to get in, get your things, and get out swiftly. So we normally will provide you with bins, but based on our safety measures that we have implemented, we need you to bring your own bins, your dollies, bags, whatever you need to assist you with the move out. We need you to bring that. We would ask you to begin to communicate with your roommate and or your suite mates on how whoever's the last person in the room to make sure that everything is cleaned, everything is empty, everything is clear. So begin to talk to your roommates once you all start getting your emails on what that process is going to look like. Once you get into your room, there's going to be the move out form. Again, we are trying to make as much to create as little contact as possible. So once you get into your room, there's going to be your move out form. So again, that's the normal form. Check to make sure everything is cleared, that you've done everything you're supposed to do. And normally our RD or an RA will do a walkthrough with you, but this year we're going to provide you with an envelope that you have to move out form in, also with your key or your swipe card, as well as the form, and we'll ask you to place it in a drop box that is going to be located near the front desk when you come in. So again, it will not be the process where we're going to take you through, do a last room check. We are asking you all to do your due diligence and making sure everything is cleared. And this time we're going to ask you to take photos. So you can take a photo of your room and you'll be able to send that to your RD as proof that you moved out and everything looks to par. So, and what's going to be also important, and we're going to ask you to practice patience even more, we're only allowing so many people in the building at a time, on an elevator at a time. So there's going to be signage throughout our buildings indicating social distancing, how many people are allowed to be in any lobby area and on the elevator. We're going to help facilitate that process. So again, we're going to ask you to be patient as we try to move as expeditiously as possible. But again, we know it's going to take some time. That's why we're being very strategic on how we're setting up your move out schedules. It's going to be important because we're going to probably overwhelm you just a little bit with a lot of information. So continue to check your university email. It's going to be so important. We're going to also send you information on what you need to do as far as your book rental returns. We'll have information from the bookstore, and also how to get your mail in packages. We know our mailroom is really full with your mail in packages. We're going to also be providing information on how to retrieve those items. It's going to be a lot of moving parts. Again, it's going to be a slower process than normal. So again, we know a normal move out will be 3 to 5 days. You get your things. A lot of people are hustling and bustling, but I want you to know that this is going to be a slow process. We have great partners within the university. Our police and public safety are on board. Our facilities team, they're on board. We're really working hard to make sure that we do this process right, and that we give you all the information so that you can be prepared before you come to campus. Again, pay attention to those emails because there's going to be a lot of good information that you need to let soak in and be prepared for. Again, start strategizing on how you're going to get here, get in your rooms and start moving things out. And again, if you have not received email, you might not be in the phase yet. But again, we're going to start focusing on our students who have graduated. We're hoping to we will start the process Tuesday, May 26th. So again, we're going to start sending out those emails today. So Mr. Holmes and his team, if you haven't gotten it, I know they're going to be sending those out today, definitely to give you time to prepare. You might have questions. I know some students are living somewhere in Delaware who might still be out of state. Again, please just adhere to those emails in your personalized schedule time. It's going to make our process go a lot smoother. We're excited to see you all from a very long distance for you to come and get your things. Like I said, I know we've held it hostage for quite some time, so we're happy to give it back to you. And again, we're preparing to do a lot of sanitizing in your rooms in the building, so it's going to be critical that you move out so we can do those things to get prepared for our reopening. So again, we're looking forward to your cooperation and seeing your faces again at a distance and being patient as we go through this move out process.
Dr. Downey, thank you. Before we actually take the slide off the screen, I want to reemphasize a couple of points. Dr. Downey, who is in the first phase?
The first phases are seniors who have graduated. Congratulations.
Seniors who have graduated and?
Are in-state Delaware students.
All right, and how do they actually receive their communication?
Please check your university email, not your personal email, your university email.
And once they do that, before they come on campus, what must they do?
It is critically important that you and your guests fill out that screening form, and you will receive approval. That will let us know that the process is complete and that you filled it out.
All right, and if they have any questions prior, who do they call?
They can always contact housing. I think the number on the screen is wrong, but it's 6362, and you all know how to get in touch with your resident director.
All right, all right. Well, thank you for that. I want to make sure everybody knows that this is very important. We had to walk through a very detailed process, get it approved by the governor, but we are here now, and we would continue to appreciate your patience as we move forward. So thank you for that, Dr. Downing. All right, before we open it up for questions, I do want to make a couple of announcements. One, if you have not completed all the information in the survey that was sent to you relative to receiving your student emergency fund disbursement, please do so. It is very important. We will not release any of those disbursements except for our graduating seniors until we have all those forms in. So it's very, very important that you do that. Those folks who are interested in our other student emergency relief fund, that's the university's fund, separate from the federal government, know that we've already distributed more than 700 students some kind of support. We know there are others out there. We are certainly cleaning up our list, and we'll be in touch with you shortly as we move forward. And the final push too is summer school. I know summer school has already started for some. We'll have sessions throughout the summer. I encourage you, if you can, to take a couple of summer courses this summer in particular as we head into the fall. With that, I'll open it up to questions. Brother McMillan.
Sir,
Any questions out there?
Yes. Can students and parents contact student accounts by phone? Some issues are better suited to be handled over the phone rather than by email.
Absolutely, absolutely. The head of student accounts is Tasha Williams. I will not give her email out here because I don't have it off the top of my head. But yes, they will be glad to take your calls. And I believe you can find Tasha's email on desu.edu.
In regards to move out, I'm originally an out-of-state student, but have not left the state since November. Is there any way I can be counted as in-state to avoid contact with out-of-state people to prevent exposure?
That's actually a great question. What I would say is that you should contact housing directly and have that conversation, and then we'll make a determination from there.
Why does having an athletic scholarship disqualify a student from receiving their housing meal plan refunds?
I don't think that's actually true. We are going by, as you know, very, very strict federal guidelines for all of our disbursements. I can tell you that those guidelines will be live today on the desu.edu website. I would encourage you to look at that very specifically as it relates to any disbursements from the federal government, as it relates to our cost of attendance credits. Remember, if we put a cost of attendance credit on your account and you don't have a balance and we owe you a refund, we will issue that refund. If you do have a balance, what we've done is reduced your balance by the amount, the prorated amount that you were not able to receive meals or housing.
Has there been any consideration of letting summer school students get their stuff earlier so that they can have their computers, laptops to complete their summer courses?
Again, I would say these particular guidelines are specifically approved by the governor. So if there are any exceptions to be made, we'll leave that with Dr. Downing and her area.
Is campus?
Darryl, let me say one word about that. We have continued to make the opportunity available to issue technology to students who need them. If you still have that request, send that request to Dr. Downing. If we can make the accommodation, we will.
Is campus opening back up for the fall semester? If not, what would you have, when will you have an answer, if not by the fall?
I am hoping to have an answer in the July 1, July 15th timeframe. We are taking every precaution, as you know, to ensure the safety of all of our students as they come back on campus. And there are scenarios that we are thinking through. So you will know more about that as we get closer to those timeframes.
When will COVID refunds be distributed?
So as I said, and if you're talking about COVID specific to the federal government, remember we dispersed all our graduating seniors already. We sent a survey out to the rest of the student body. That survey has critical information on it. Like for instance, making sure we have the right address for you. So it's very important that you all send those back. Once all those are in, we will begin those disbursements.
We also have a question about how to get in contact with financial aid. They've tried emailing, so same scenario as you mentioned regarding Tasha.
That's correct.
I would say that is about it, because most of the rest of the questions are duplicates of things that we've already answered.
All right, thank you, Brother McMillan. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you. I want to end this particular session with a video that some students from our theater department produced. What I want to say about it is specifically for essential workers. A big thank you to them, particularly on campus, but all over the nation and the world. And it was their idea. In fact, I had one of the students just texted me and say, Dr. Allen, we've done this. We don't know what to do with it, but we wanted to make sure that we showed our appreciation. And I immediately asked the team to put it on all of our channels. And I wanted to make sure that you saw it here too. So give us 1 second and we'll play that video.
Hi everyone, my name is Bryn Dow.
My name is Anthony McIver.
I'm currently president
I'm the president of the Theater Society at Delaware State University.
of the Alpha Eta Iota chapter of Alpha Psi Omega National Theater Honor Society at Delaware State University. I want to say thank you
Thank you to all the first responders
and essential workers, both off campus
and on campus, especially those who work in the public safety office, the food servers, custodial staff, as well as administration and educators. As you have been working diligently
and tirelessly to maintain community and safety.
we appreciate you.
We love you, and we want you to remember the impossible
Is
possible.
possible.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go,
To rise
the unrighted wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star.
This is my quest to follow that star.
No matter how hopeless, no matter how far,
To fight for the right without question or cause. To believe to fight until the ground. And I know if I only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will live peaceful and calm when I lead to my rest.
and the world will be better for this.
that one man's warden covered with stars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach
The unreachable
I hope you, every time I see that, I am moved. I hope you are as moved as I am. I believe Dr. Delato has one more announcement and then we'll close. Madam Provost.
Good morning again. I just wanted to announce that Academic Affairs will be hosting a faculty forum on Thursday at 11, and this is around our transition back to the university. Do look for a WebEx invitation later today or tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Provost. Thank you all for coming and we'll see you next week.